It is not just writing gigs. ISAConnect is, there's a lot. There's a lot that goes into being an ISAConnect member, a lot of value. A lot of the value does come from being able to submit to writing gigs, but the reality is that writing gigs are, finding a perfect match is challenging, you know? So you have to submit, it's like finding a perfect job or perfect partner. You have to submit a lot, and you have to be refining your log lines to submit to gigs. So it is a huge part of ISAConnect, but there's also the Writer Showcase, where you can list your projects safely that are only able to be viewed by industry pros who we vetted. If they don't have credits, they're not getting access. And you can list just what you want, right? A lot of times people list their log lines on other platforms. These aren't public. When you list your projects on the Writer Showcase, you control the material that you're sharing with the industry or the industry pros who are vetted by us. And that's really important to know. So if you just put your log line, you can put your synopsis, you can list your screenplay, and then when an industry pro goes to look at it, you'll be notified immediately. The nice thing about the showcase is you are in control, it is safe, and you're not giving more without them requesting. And even if they do look at your log line, your screenplay, or your synopsis, if you do leave them available, there'll be a notification in your timeline indicating who looked at it. But it's a great place to be seen. We've had writers discovered from the showcase, from industry pros that we've vetted, that will sort through the showcase and, you know, for whatever they're looking for, and then reach out to that writer and then sign a shopping agreement or an option. And that's really exciting. Another aspect, a big one, is you get 4 free screenplay competitions a year. And the reason this has so much value is because we all kind of write to deadlines. And if you utilize the deadlines, they're distributed 4 times a year. The next one's August, then it goes November, February, and then May. We give a free competition entry to just different competitions that we sponsor. And you can use that to write to the deadline. So you're putting a deadline out there. When do I have to have the screenplay done? Which we know is a good discipline to have. Not to just kind of always free flow it, but to set yourself a marker. So by August 1st, I'm going to have this draft done. Then I don't have to spend any money to submit it to this competition at all. And the best thing about that is that you have 2 things. One, because you haven't spent any money, you should order feedback. But if you don't want to spend the money on feedback, which is a mistake, because feedback is huge, and I'll get back to that in a second, but you'll know where your screenplay fits in the scheme of things if it makes quarterfinals or semifinals or wins. So now you're using screenplay competitions to your advantage. Your new draft of your screenplay is going to get read, and if it rates well, then you're in that's great news. If it doesn't make quarterfinals, you know immediately that you have a lot more work to do. If it makes quarterfinals, how do I get it to semifinals if it doesn't make semifinals? And if it doesn't make if it makes semifinals and then doesn't win the grand prize, that's another a layer of your script that you need to keep improving upon. So you're utilizing a screenplay competition to see where you're placing in the industry, and as you're improving the draft, you can submit it to the next screenplay competition that's included in the cost of your Connect membership. So through the year, no script is going to be like perfect the first draft, and it's going to take iterations. I suggest getting feedback during that period of time, because why wouldn't you want to get notes on the draft? In particular, if it's an early draft and you haven't been placing anywhere else yet, or haven't even tried other competitions, you're just utilizing this one competition, take that as an opportunity to get some notes so that when you're rewriting in between the August deadline, the free contest, and the November contest, you've gotten notes to help you with your polish for the screenplay that you only made quarterfinals in. You know, if you only made quarterfinals, you're not ready. That's not a sign that your screenplay is ready. So use this ISAConnect service. Oh, it's not service. I keep saying that. ISAConnect membership to help you develop your screenplay step by step, But then another part of the ISAConnect membership is all the discounts we give on feedback. Anywhere from just doing a first 20-page feedback all the way up to the accelerator program, and you can get $10 all the way up to $100 off on some of these, depending upon where your script is, what draft you're at. It makes sense to order feedback in between those contest dates. You get a discount, right? Even the accelerator is $100 off. Now that's a more in-depth program, and you get to work with 2 executives multiple times to really get in there. And it's pricey, but that's for the script that you're close, but you haven't been winning. You're getting in the semifinals, you're getting some attention, but you just haven't gotten like that one other hurdle. And now it's like, what is it? Why is a producer passing on my project? Why are agents saying, yeah, there's a really great idea in there, but it's not really fully fleshed out? That type of program. And so we give discounts on all the different types of feedback so that you can develop as you're going. Step by step, you have the contest submissions, you have the discounts on the feedback. You also get discounts on other contests, which I would encourage as an ISAConnect member to submit to multiple contests with the same draft. You've heard me talk about this kind of thing before, but getting 3 different perspectives on your project is always a good thing because of the commonalities you're going to hear inside the notes. And then some of the kind of nuggets of really cool ideas that may come from some of the notes. If they're reputable companies and great readers that are set to a certain standard, like at the ISA, then you're going to get notes that are very constructive and helpful for you to develop your script, because the truth is we want you to be better at your craft. And we want you to take your story and ultimately make it undeniable. So ISAConnect gives you all these tools to take you step by step by step and get you to the place where your script can be undeniable, which I've talked about before, is so critical to being in this very competitive industry. With 60-some thousand or more screenplays registered a year and only a couple thousand get produced, how do you stand out? Use ISAConnect to help you develop so your script does stand out. Your script does get better, and you can impress the hell out of a producer.